Welcome back to the newest and upgraded version of Tusk and Tradition. Got some new features. Good old Santa Claus was good to me. Got a new camera, good mic, so hopefully this will upgrade the experience for all of us. So that's great. Big episode. It is going to be probably the biggest one I've made up to date. We got the Rose Bowl we could talk about and a post-playoff win. The first one in the Coach DeBoer era, so a lot of good topics, a lot of things I want to cover. I could make this video probably an hour long. Not going to, but I easily could with everything we could talk about. Let's go back in time a little bit right here. We'll start the Oklahoma game. The video I did on it, I felt confident about us. I mentioned that a bunch of times, so I thought this is a game that we could, have a, get back, turnaround game, revenge game, whatever you want to call it. I thought that was finally a good chance. Now, the way the first matchup was angled in the regular season was also angled as a revenge game, because think about what they did to us last year, which ultimately kept us out of the playoffs being that 3-loss team. And so that was already a revenge game we had this year, and whatever went down, Tuscaloosa went down. That was in the past. So going into this game, I thought if we could make some changes to not turning the ball over, making kicks and taking care of the football and not letting explosive plays happen, kind of what we saw versus Auburn in the Iron Bowl. I thought I liked our chances. So getting into the game, the first two offensive series we had with Ty, I was looking, watched the game with my roommate, and I was like, this is the same team that played in Atlanta right now. I mean, if this team keeps playing like this is not even going to be close. Then the early, couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop Mateer running down the field. And so I was just thinking, this is the same team, the same effort level, the same coaching preparation that we really saw, since the LSU game, but it really showed its ugly head in the SEC championship game when we got blown out by Georgia. So early on, it's 10-0. We gave up the field goal there, and I'm thinking, we are so lucky it's only 10-0. Then we do nothing with the ball again. They go down and score, make it 17-0. And I'm thinking, well, that's it? 17-0 with the way this offense is shown? I mean, I would love to say I was that hopeful Alabama fan. I never lost hope, and I thought Ty's going to get us right. But I ain't going to lie to y'all. I always try to be honest with y'all. Sometimes when I say things that exactly the way they happened, I say, hey, I'm honest with y'all, and y'all maybe don't believe me. So here I am being honest again with y'all. When we got down 17-0, I thought it was over. I mean, I was already looking up next year's schedule about who we're doing what with next year. It's Coach DeBoer to come out with a Michigan hat, at halftime. So that was kind of where the mindset was. It's a horrible mindset to have, but it is where I was. New Year's resolution is to be more positive, and I'm going to hold myself to that with all aspects of my life, including Alabama football. But down 17-0, get the ball back. The game changed. I mean, we didn't score here, but the game changed on a 3rd and 5 pass to Latsier Brooks. And he made a great, coming back to the ball, made a catch, and that moved the sticks. We didn't go 3 and out. So that was when I thought, if you could pinpoint a moment, that was when the game just started to change. And then we go down the field and we get a 4th and 2 conversion to score and finally put points on the board. And then, I'm thinking, let's get one more stop. Get a stop, put a little bit of pressure on them. This team is built to hold a lead. I was in Oklahoma. That team was built and designed to get a lead and hold it. We're probably, I guess, if we're going to take the two of the teams, we're probably the team that's designed to be the comeback kids, I guess. We're the ones that have faced a lot of adversity this season. Not that they haven't. They have with the other quarterback breaking his hand, having to replace him. They've had a lot of SEC tough games, so they've also been there. But if you look at what we did this year in the 4-game, 1-month schedule, 4 ranked SEC teams, some on the road, some at home, winning all 4. No one's ever done that. So we've been through it this season where I think if it did come down to who was more battle tested, I liked us more. So, we go and score, make it 17-7, then get that really big special teams play where their punter just dropped the snap and then we were able to block it. But that was big. And then when it happened, I turned to our roommate and I said, hey, we have to get 7 here. Can't settle for 3. I mean, spoiler alert, we did settle for 3 and it ended up being okay. But I remember thinking we need to get 7 here. Very hard to score in the Oklahoma defense. It's hard enough to score at all. Once you get the ball, on their side of the field in the red zone, everything just kind of shrinks and condenses. So when we got the ball down there, I was like, we need to put it in right now because it was just a gift. Ended up settling for 3, and that 3 we made. So good job, Talty. I always say in the season, you don't get to say it much, but that was a good kick. I don't get to say those words much, so when I get to, I'm going to say them. That was a good kick by him. Big pressure kicks. This is a guy that's been booed by his own home crowd. This is a guy who's been constantly doubted. I'm one of them sometimes. Like I said, I'm always honest with you guys. So just to see, the last few games, he's been really, really solid. Since he's getting booed, he's been really, really solid. So good to see that kid go through. They get 17-10. And then maybe the biggest play in the whole game where, the whole game you showed it. Great job by King Womack changing up pressures, bringing guys up, backing them out, bringing them, and we constantly had them off guard. Ended up with 5 sacks on the night. So great job just bringing back and forth, playing cat and mouse. You ended up bringing some heat, then backed it out, and we totally confused him. He thought he had something in the flaps, a little out route, threw it down there, pick six for going the other way. As he's running down the field on the pick six, you got one man to beat. It's him and John, the quarterback. I'm thinking we have to score this because their Oklahoma defense is so good. I don't know if we even get the ball our own 12-yard line that we can even put that in. So I was just thinking he has to score right now. It's getting low in the half. So great job, great football move. Playmakers make plays, and he put the ball in the end zone, made it 17-17. And then I'm thinking, let's get greedy. We got all 3 of our timeouts. Let's call some timeouts. Let's see if we get the ball back, take the lead here. We get the ball at half. Let's see if we can double up, put the game out of reach. So they get the ball back. We start calling timeouts. Coach DeBoer's pretty aggressive. Also really weird right here at the end of the half. Oklahoma had the ball, I think, at our inside our 40, or inside our 50, probably in the 45-50 range on our side of the field. Hail Mary range with 1 or 2 seconds. Also, up until this point, they've had the greatest kicker for the whole season. So maybe get the 10 yards and trot him out there and take the lead back. But they just opted to let the half end. They had timeouts. It wasn't like 4th down already. They had timeouts and downs. I would at least call a timeout with 1 second. Let's throw it to the end zone and see what happens. That's just why not? So when they jogged off the field, I was like, what? Way to play so passive. I mean, it really felt like the game wasn't anywhere near them. The momentum was gone. You don't do stuff like that. It just really makes you scratch your head. Questionable coaching on that one. But go to halftime, third quarter, we kind of picked up right where we left off. We had a tie. Felt like that week 6 tie that where we went on the runs in Missouri against Tennessee and LSU. Kind of he felt like he is starting to hit those passes. He had a beautiful pass again in the end zone that Lazier Brooks caught, and it was kind of shades of what we saw in the middle of the season. And if we have that tie back going to the Rose Bowl, all bets are off. We'll see what happens. But, hit some plays. Defense kept, showing pressure, backing out, really shrinking the window. I think Oklahoma did all they could to lose after going up 17-0. I mean, just dropped passes. There was that one play on 3rd and 3 where he could have ran for a first down for Oklahoma, John Mateer, but he opted to throw it down. I think it was running back and just right off his hands. But those are just game-changing plays. So I think Oklahoma did a lot to not help themselves really stay in it. I mean, they got back in it, but I really feel like they were going to be able to take the game back from us. Defense kept balling out, went down the field, Tall team made another 40-yard kick. I mean, everything was going right, going up 10, going to the 4th quarter. They brought out 50 Cent. And if you look at Alabama's sideline when they panned over, I mean, the whole sideline was going nuts. They loved it. I mean, it was, I think it backfired in Oklahoma, bringing him out and letting us, party up to that on the sideline. They said they listen to it every Friday, so the team loves that song. So that was awesome to get to do that. It helped them. But, second play of 4th quarter, Oklahoma makes a strike and scores. And then, championship teams respond. I've always said that. And so what did we do? We went down and responded. And Daniel Hill capped it with a grown man 6-yard run, running over 2 Oklahoma defenders into the end zone. And that was kind of where the game felt like it was over. Didn't help that they trotted their kicker out there twice and he missed 2 kicks. I mean, it's just so funny. Everything that happened in that first matchup, let's flip it this time. And that's what happened the other way with Oklahoma. I mean, we were throwing the pick sixes. We were missing kicks. We were just having bonehead special team plays. And everything happened to them. They dropped the punt. They missed 2 kicks. They threw a pick 6. And when you play clean football, it's hard to beat. And so, I'm not saying we were perfect, but we played the better clean football game than they did, and we came out with a road victory. At the time, it was the first road victory in all of the expanded 12-team playoffs. So those are impressive. Really, I think it was a really big game for Coach DeBoer to go win, knowing I think we were the better team. I mean, I'm going to say that. And that was a big one for him to go in there to win in that environment. That was a fired-up crowd. That might be one of the bigger games they've had there in the last 10, 15 years. So just a really impressive win to go there and do it almost in dominating fashion after what happened, getting down 17-0. I mean, Twitter was going crazy. They were writing us off from the beginning. Oklahoma game, really fun game, fun watch, good win. It'll be fun to watch back for years to come. Getting into the game now, which is, I told y'all when we got this draw, I liked this matchup. Not saying we're going to win, whatever, but I'm just saying I like Alabama versus Indiana. Their quarterback's a great player. I think they do a lot of things right. They're really well coached, very fundamentals. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Just look at their season, though. I just heard some wild stats. They haven't beat anyone outside of the Big Ten in like 2 years. That was Power 4. I mean, you look at the season this year, a 5-point win versus Iowa, a 10-point win versus Old Dominion, 3-point win at Penn State. I'm not saying that, you take those scores and we're gonna beat them. No. But I just think everyone has talked about Indiana like they're the greatest college football team ever to play. Alabama has no chance for 7-point dogs. And all I'm saying is we have a chance. I'm not saying we're going to win. I'm not saying that, the SEC is always better than the Big Ten. I'm just saying that everyone has already seemed to write off Alabama in this game, and I don't see why. I don't see that. I mean, they're just like us. They make mistakes. They bleed red. So we get into the game. I like how if we can continue what we saw to the offense, I've already given up asking on the run game to really get going, but if we can have a repeat of what we had in the Oklahoma game again, great. Love it. We'll be effective with the football. We'll be effective running the football. That's enough. It's not the numbers that are great, but it seems to be timely runs. Danny Hill busted that 30-yard run right kind of felt like we needed it in the second quarter to really kind of put the game, like shifting it to where we can put it on ice. So I think if we can get more timely plays in the run game, I'll ask that. Even when he busted it for 6 yards, running over 2 defenders, score a touchdown. Like, those numbers aren't great. They don't look great on the stat sheet, but those plays are great, and they're very timely. So we're going to need that. Defense is going to keep balling out. They're going to try to do anything they can to hit a few deep shots, make some plays. Up front, they're going to want to test us. They're going to try to run the football on us. What's going to be the balance of what we can bring, what we can drop back? Look for us to kind of want to confuse Fernando. He's a great player, makes smart plays. See if we can try to induce 1 or 2 mistakes. When that ball hits the ground on a fumble, ball in the air, tip pass, whatever, we got to come up with those plays. We got to come up with those plays. Expect a great environment in the Rose Bowl. I mean, this is what you live for. I always love that shot. They always get it every year. They'll get it this year, where it's the stadium from the aerial view with both end zones, and you got the B-2 bomber flying over, and they always get a perfect shot of it. So, looking forward to that. Be New Year's Day. It's gonna be a great way to bring the New Year's in. Hopefully, with an Alabama win. I don't love what Vegas is saying. ESPN. I always talk about that. I'm not a big bettor myself, but I always mention it. I think it opened up as 7.5, might have gone to 6.5 now, or one of the two numbers, and I think we have a 25-point-something chance to win. So that is why I went on that little rant at the beginning. I'm talking about this game. Like, everyone has already wrote us off, thinks we have no chance, thinks we can't stay with them. And all I'm saying, let's go find out. I'm excited for it. All the pressure is on them. We're a 3-loss SEC team that didn't win the championship. This is maybe the greatest season they've had ever. I mean, I'm not an Indiana football connoisseur, but this is up there. So all the pressure's on them. They're the number 1 seed. They're the number 1 team. Their quarterback won the Heisman. I think we just go play relaxed, go play football, have fun. Like the Oklahoma game, once we got down 17-0, it just seemed like we started having fun. I seen the opening of that game, we were playing a little, I don't want to say scared, but maybe uptight and, not putting our full effort in, like playing, I don't want to make a mistake. Last time we played this team, we made mistakes, we lost. And it seemed like once we got 17-0, it was kind of like, well, let's just go play football, see what happens. Good things start to happen when you play loose. Nick Saban always says, play with emotions, but don't play emotional. So it's going to be a fun game. I like the Tide. I've never, ever, I'm like Nick Saban on College Game Day. I'm never going to pick against us. I might think it's, not likely in our favor, which I don't think this time, but I thought that maybe in the S championship game. But I'll never pick against us. I think it's going to be a great game. Give me the Tide 24-21. Give me Connor Talty making a big-time kick to win the game at the end. In the fourth quarter, big pressure kick. I'm going to split the uprights, and we're going to go home happy with as much roses in our mouth and head on to Atlanta. And we'll get that recap video when we see where we're playing. It's going to be Oregon or Texas State at that point. So that's how I feel confident in this game. It's going to be fun no matter what. This is a great time. Whenever Alabama's playing the Rose Bowl, it's just fun. We've got some storied games there. It's in our fight song, so expect a really good game, a fun atmosphere. Wish I was going. Wish I could get out there. But it'll be good. It's just, how can you not be excited playing in the Rose Bowl? And so it's always like, how can you not love football? There's a great quote, how can you not be romantic about sports? How can you not be romantic about football? So much fun. We're doing good things. We're still playing. We'll be playing in January. If you had told me that beginning of the year, I'd be really happy with where we're at in the season. So it's been good. Everything's built to this, but we're not done. The season's not over. There's more to go. There's more games. So This should be great. Expect a good game in the Rose Bowl, and I'll cover that, after, and we'll get more into. Like I always say it, but football hasn't ended. But we'll get more into basketball season. We play Yale today, so we'll see how that get going. But yeah, Roll Tide. Expect a big one at the Rose Bowl, and I'll get covering that next.